Good morning, good morning. Welcome to my channel. Haters, thieves, con artists, family, friends, judicial system. All right, guys. So let's get in it. Let's get in it today. Like I said, excuse me, I have my pictures ready. So let's do a little smudging some cards here. All right, guys, we're going to talk about quite a few things today. This may be a long one. But there are some folks out there. Never let someone call you crazy and dismiss you. Never let someone, especially some con artists and thieves, call you crazy and try to dismiss you. So we're going to get in it. A lot went down here. Quite a few groups came at me. Some folks turned their back on me when I was going through PTSD. Some folks took advantage of the fact they seen I was grieving. Some folks seemed to think that I was in some type of butthurt over some type of falling in love. And they would be wrong. Because the butthurt I was in had to do with being treated like I wasn't even human. So you kick somebody while they're down. You think they're not paying attention and that it's not going to come back on you. What you fail to realize is I'm not the dummy you took me for. Nor am I a coward. I have a spine. I also have a set of webos right here. All right. So, I want to talk about some dreams. I want to talk about some fakes. I want to talk about some con artists. I want to talk about what was done to me. My story is going to get out there. I also want to talk about how I have been stalked, hacked, harassed. This goes beyond stalking. We're also going to talk about a family that claned up and committed some hate crimes, where they handed me the proof. So if you think I'm not coming, and you think I'm not bringing that evidence, you thought wrong. You gave it to me. You did your own self in. All right, so, hang on, guys. Like I said, let's get in it. You sat back, you watched me grieve, you watched me cry. You hacked my emails. There's no doubt there was either a camera in my home and possibly a camera on a phone flipped, which I know if you can remotely, say somebody in a different state can remotely go into your computer and do things, yeah, you can flip a camera. So there was a lot of folks that came after me when I was doing nothing but minding my own business. There's a lot of folks that watched. And I have to tell you, first off, you tried to make me look crazy. Second, you tried to make me go crazy. You know, I don't even know if you can imagine. But can you imagine, and I'm going to express to you every bit of it, having all of this coming at you while you are exhausted. I'm talking exhausted, mentally, physically. Your soul is exhausted. And the person you chose to do that is a nurse. Someone that's out there taking care of and providing for other people. You're some sick souls. So, anyhow, we're going to get down into it. We're going to get to the nitty gritty. We're going to get to the fake hot dogs. We're going to get to the fake Leos. And we're going to get into a little bit more. So, eventually the truth will come out. Eventually this case will be proven. And where you fail to understand who I am, when the truth does come out, if I find out my ex-husband was not involved in this, I'm going to politely go right on over there and ask him to come get right on involved and help file that class action lawsuit with me. You think I wouldn't? Baby, I don't care. You see, I went on with my life. I didn't care if anybody got hit by a Mack truck. I didn't care if anybody won the lottery, and I still do not care today. because Adeline went on with Adeline's life. You all came for me. There's a baby mama out there that put a child in a stage accident. You put that child in harm's way, and you thought that was okay. There's a lot of people here that decided that they wanted to protect you simply because of the same skin color. I wish I could tell you all what's coming, because apparently there's a lot of folks out there of different races that have no idea what's coming. And baby, it's coming. At the hand of the divine, it's coming. But you never gave me that chance. You never gave me the chance to come on out on my YouTube channel, express who I am, the things I had to say, the things I know, the messages I receive. You all acted like this was some kind of hazing, like this was some kind of initiation. And then you all tried to portray, oh, it's just an illusion, let it go. Baby, the evidence I have is not an illusion. You can only imagine when I was hearing my life being played back to me. You can only imagine the times I was like, Lord, what are you trying to do to me? You see, I've had a strong faith all of my life. I'll spend it right down to the last nickel. You know why? Because I know God's got me. Some of you have no faith. Some of you say you have faith, and you have no idea what faith is. So anyhow, like I said, this is going to be a long one, guys. So let's get in it. All right, let's see where I want to start. On you all stealing my information. On you all using my information. If you go back to, now I started listening to, we're going to go back to 2018. I started listening to tarot readings around 2019, beginning of 2019, late 2018, maybe December. There's a lot of folks that mistook me for some little bubblehead idiot. That's going to come back to bite you in the arse. All right, so let's see. And I can prove what happened. Let's start with, not only were you all listening, first off, the thing that gets me is the greater portion of people out here saying they are divine or not divine, they're POS. That stands for pieces of crap. Right? Simply for, someone comes on the scene, they have a cross on their hand, they're telling you they're led to this. And you know, I had to ask myself, why would God lead me to tarot readings? Why would God do that? First off, the good Lord knows I've never had jealousy, envy, spitefulness. I've never had any of that in my heart. Second, the good Lord knows I do not like fighting. I do not like confrontation. I do not like having to get aggressive. Apparently, the good Lord knew I was the one for the job, huh? Apparently so. So, I had to question myself, and I had to question the good Lord over that one. And let me tell you what I came up with. The thought occurred to me. A lot of folks slandered me, defamated my character, tried to portray I was someone I am not in my community. And this goes from exes to bottom-feeding, low-vibe old meth hoes from back in the 90s. Little bar I used to go hang out at and shoot pool. Jealous, envy, spiteful. Not just that, it goes on to some bikers' wives. Some of the folks here in my community, baby, I don't want your husband. I can outdo you and him. Why would I want your husband? Right on down to a woman who tried to accuse me of being a homewrecker, who was living with another man while her husband was free reign. I do believe that was a Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. Anyhow, we're going to get into it. Like I said, I can prove my case. I can prove this was racism, discrimination, RICO, and hate crimes. Somebody's going to be looking at some prison time. All right, so let me tell you guys how this went down. So I started listening to YouTube readings. I started hearing things that was portraying things I was doing in my everyday life. I started hearing things like the lady in the window crying, same way I sit in the window now. That was in early 2020. That was in late 2019 when I was sitting here grieving how my family turned their back on me. When I was sitting here grieving how my daughter and I was fighting. When I was sitting here grieving how my youngest son and I had split ways. due to the disrespect. Did I give him many cussings? Yes, sir, I did. And yes, sir, I will again. That's a grown man. That's not a child. You think you're going to take my money? You think you're going to put to the side my Harley when I put my Harley up for you to get a truck, as well as thousands? I don't think so. You're going to give the old lady some respect. But that's not his fault. That's a certain man's fault who told him to take her for all you can get. That's a certain man's fault that failed to teach that child what honor is. That's a man's fault that set my son up to have a hole put in his head by some angry other citizen because he didn't teach him honor. You cannot steal a man's fish off his lines and think he won't kick your arse over it. You cannot go around through life stomping on people's feet, disrespecting them, and think somebody won't mess you up over it. Which leads me right back to what I said before. There's a certain ex-husband that's a POS. All right, so the lady in the window crying, the picture that circulated on YouTube via the readers. When you know, right? You see, y'all thought I was so grievous and so hurt and so going to take myself out. What you failed to realize was the entire time I was paying attention. I was taking notes. Let's see, from late 2019 to early 2020, Aquarius, you win. Win what? Win what? The prize for being able to hide? How you can be so cruel, you can treat someone inhumane? Win what? That you are so untrusting, you accuse someone else of looking into your phone? That's not who I am, but apparently that's the women you're used to. All right, moving on. Restraining order on everybody. Capricorn, law's coming for you. Restraining orders. You can put the chair against the door. FBI's coming for you. Oh, he likes what you did in that chair. Hammy ham. I went on about a 2-week spree of eating broccoli. Guess what I started here? The broccoli lady. You could spit, you could fart. Next day, guess what you'd be hearing? This is someone that just cook. Repo. And we're going to get on into the credit union with that one as well. You see, the only way you would know some of that information is if you was reading my emails. And that's exactly what you did. Somebody's going to prison, baby. All right, for the lady who commented, I buried them so deep. 2 channels. Take 10 years for somebody to find them. Well, here I am, baby. Here I am. You see, not only was I writing down names, dates, times, places, and YouTube platform channels, you took me for a fool. And the only fool here were you are. So we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about the little thieving Gemini. We're going to talk about the little beady-eyed Pisces. We're going to talk about quite a few folks. Like I said, I couldn't understand why the Lord would put me in this position, and I finally do. For everyone that kicked me while I was down, that stuck those little daggers in my back, you did it on a smaller platform. You did it in a community. Look where God sat me. On a higher platform to a bigger community to spit some truth. Right on, baby. All right. So, there were a lot of meth banshees that came for me. There were some folks tried to call the kettle black. These folks right here, you're going to be doing good, baby, if I don't file suit against you. Do I care if you have no money? Nope. But I tell you what will be mine. The next car wreck you stage, your money will come to me because I will put a lien on everything you own. All right, so let's see. This one right here, who had the audacity to try to call me a meth head, when this is a strung out drug addict. As you can see, they took my Facebook identity. Does that look like a meth head to you, baby? That's a healthy, beautiful woman. This can be fixed, and is going to. So here we have, what kind of mother steals her son's money when he was a child and spends it on a man and only bought him an Xbox? Here you can see who these fools are. That's RICO, baby. That's a hate crime. I can prove you stalked me. It's okay. She can block me. I'll just make another page tomorrow. That's stalking, baby. You going down. You tried to stop my money. You tried to stop this man's GoFundMe. Do not put any money on Addie Newcomb. Scam, 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 scam. It's hate crime, baby girl. That's hate crime. And I got your evidence right here. All right, moving on. Let's see. Do not send any money to the GoFundMe. You see, you tried to, I have proof. You tried to stop my money. You tried to stop this man from getting any help to fight for his babies that we've all heard screaming because they know who their abusers are. Carolina, you are corrupt. There's a social worker on audio telling a man. Well, I know we have some audio. We still haven't gone through all of them. Anyhow, this social worker told this man, you should have kept your business in your own home. Ma'am, do you not know that's racist and discrimination? So what you told this man was, I'm going to discriminate against you because you are pointing out this mother is abusive. But I'm going to discriminate against you because I'm racist. I'm not going to do my effing job. And I'm going to tell you, you should have kept your business in your own home. Madam, you need to be stripped. You need to be stripped of your immunity, your pension, your job, and you need to be arrested for obstructing justice. Because that is exactly what you did. Not only that, you need to be personally sued by my son for what you did. You caused him suffering. You caused his children suffering. Right now, this family is trying to make it look like they're not abusive, that they're not the narcissistic, racist haters that they are. Baby, let me tell you something. You can have a double wide, you can have a mansion. When it comes to abuse, abuse is abuse. You may think because I live in a hut, we won't win. Abuse is abuse, baby. There's a very controlling man in this home. Not only that, these children are now laid up in the living room with the same strung out drug addict felon. Not hard to see what was going to happen. Not hard to see there was a lot of information being handed down secondhand. You guys all know when information's handed down secondhand, it's skewed, it's added to, taken away from. So this idiot had the audacity to say someone accused him of RAPE. No, sir. No, sir, not at all. What you are accused of is tapping on some little girls' doors late at night, somewhere you have no business being. Now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that when children are molested, it's normally from an uncle, a dirty old bastard. It's normally an uncle, a pawpaw, a cousin. Something along those terms. So you can try to paint it a pretty picture all you want. It still comes down to what it is. All right, moving on. Let's go back to 2018. This is the toddler that was put in the staged accident. You could have killed that child. You could have caused that child some serious harm. I will never give up fighting for justice and for what is right when it comes to the innocent and what you all did. These children were innocent and I was innocent. I never deserved the bullshit you people did to me. So when I say make sure who you get your tarot readings from, I stand on it. I stand on everything I've said. All righty, moving on. You can't stand me, but it's because you know I see through you. You stole a lot of my information. You used my information as your little titles and to be able to make tarot readings. Or can you no longer come up with stories? Because that's all it is, stories. Unless you have a gift. And from what I'm seeing, it's mostly stories. All right, so let's go back to the Repo Credit Union. So I know that there was a female involved that did have to do with the bank as well. You see, you all tried to make me look crazy. Baby, I was exhausted. My soul was hurt. My soul was hurt over how someone could treat someone so inhumane. My soul was hurt over the fact that I walked away from a certain family almost 30 years ago, and I've been harassed. I've had opportunities snatched away from me by the same people. One of them just a damn demon. Matriarch tries to portray herself as a Jesus-loving woman. Baby, you can post your Jesus-loving memes all day long. Let me see, what was your phrase? This woman is obsessed with a man that she knows, a man younger than her, that she knows she can never have. It's the same woman that thought she'd send him some slander against me. You know, because you're my friend. But apparently the friend wasn't swift enough to recognize what was going down. It had nothing to do with because you're my friend. It had to do with if I can't have him, you damn sure can't have him. It had to do with envy, jealousy, spite, and demonic souls. All right, so we want to make sure we categorize all of this in the section it goes in. So like I said, you didn't bury me deep enough. Do I care to be a part of your club? Why would I? Why would I care to be part of con artist? Moving on. What I seek is justice. You sought war. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to shuffle because it does bring me some type of meditation. So I'm going to shuffle while I speak. You sought war. You tried to make me look crazy. You exploited my life all across YouTube. You knew, and you hoped me hearing my life played back to me, it would cause me mental anguish, and that's exactly what you did. For that, you will be judged, and you will pay the price of the penalty. Yet you attempt to call yourselves good people. So let's start at the beginning in 2018 and see if we can comprehend how someone, me, must have something good. Must be some kind of light I carry. For this many people to come at one woman. All right. So, and I will tell my story of my dreams and everything. All right, so anyhow. Like moths to a flame, baby, every one of you came. I guess that means I was God's trap, huh? If I am in the wrong, then why would so many people be trying to stop me? You tried to stop my income, my abundance, and my voice. If I'm a liar and not speaking truth, why would so many try to shut me up and shut me down? I stand in that truth. You exploited me? Why would you even care what Adaring's doing? Because I assure you, Adaring doesn't care what a damn soul's doing. I've always been an introvert. I've always stuck to myself. That's how I've circled all these crowds all these years and know their information. Didn't care what they did. Minded my own business. For that, some folks took me as a simpleton. Some folks took me as a dummy. We have family. And we have Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. So we have somebody in family that's coming forward. Has to do with some type of choice they've made. We have hangman on the bottom. They've sat back and thought about it. So to have this many people coming for one woman, it was to hide your crimes. It was to hide the lies, to hide the abuse. Because yes, what you did to me, was abuse. That dream did come true. People acting like children as they twisted, turned, stabbed me with their little daggers. The flash of the demon on their faces. That dream did come true. So yeah, this was clans, groups, racism at its finest, as well as discrimination. And we're talking from bikers, drug addicts, harlots, jealous idiots. This was almost like the movie Carrie. And so a lot of underhanded thieves, crooks, liars, and con artists would not be seen for who they are. Demons in the flesh who try to portray they're good people. I was given a light, baby, and we're going to talk about that dream. If you believe there's no such thing as angels and demons, you're wrong. But I definitely must have some kind of light, because you demons sure do seem to flood too. That's how I know I am one of God's warriors for the innocent. For the innocent souls against abuse from con artists, thieves, liars, drug addicts, and demons. How dare you all try to make me look like a monster here, like I was crazy, because I was so busy grasping at what was being said, what was being done. The bikers over here, the old dope ho-hos over there, pillow pimps, the tarot readers over here, the water company coming from over here, the judicial system, the attorney, you can only imagine any other person, baby, they would have lost it. They would have lost it. And that's where y'all underestimated me. All right. How dare you, after all the BS you did to me. This isn't projection. This isn't illusion. This is truth. And you're not going to make me look crazy. No one, and that's what you tried to do. You tried to make me look crazy. So when I spoke on what happened, no one would believe me. When I sit here and I tell you this is truth, that this did happen, this happened. This was no illusion, baby. And somebody, certain organizations probably will end up with Class A lawsuits against them. If you think I won't come to you personally, for you personally, because of what you did, once that suit's over, truth comes out, it's coming. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. You see, there were a lot of folks, there's not a doubt in my mind, this was put out there somehow for people to see, watch, witness, listen to. I've had to prove it to my own self, right down to the law. Y'all literally gave your own selves away, every one of you. We're going to get into that too. All right, so I was hacked and targeted. So let's talk about 2018. I was trying to get to know someone. Again, like I said, I was mentally and physically exhausted. Though mine was moving a little slower than its normal sharpness. I liked this person. Thought they were pretty cool. We'll never see them the same. In 2018, I put in 760 hours of overtime. At that time, my son's baby mama decided, after this staged car wreck, to move it on up to Carolina, where she had some family. Laws were a little bit different. Nothing but another criminal running from a crime, who decided to have her entire family clan up and stalk me. Some of this stalking was done by her mother on my Facebook. I know you hacked me because I never accepted you as a friend. But one day when I went to my Facebook, there you sat, and there I blocked you. All right, guys, so moving on. So 2018, this is what I went through. I was trying to get to know someone, and he even said, leave me alone. You know, had the old mind been moving a little quicker, I'd have done just that. Especially if he'd have been more truthful and mentioned that he was partners with my ex-husband. Son, I'd have walked smooth away from you. You'd have never had to worry about seeing me again. But how dare you try to call me a stalker? And I'm going to say it exactly how I see it. You wasn't screaming stalker when you was eating my shrimp, drinking my beer, eating my steaks. You damn sure wasn't screaming stalker when I was riding you downhill like a fat kid on a tricycle with no brakes. But you told all your buddies a different story. You, sir, are a piece of crap. I am who I am, baby. I don't have a damn thing to hide. You see, I couldn't understand what was happening to me because I knew something was happening to me. I said some things to this man, and I couldn't understand why I said it. Now I know why. It was straight messages from the divine, baby. Protect her. We have a mission. I wasn't wrong the entire time. All right, so moving on. In November of 2018, my lights had got turned off. You see, I've done a lot, my entire life to help other people. That's why I get sick of hearing people holler, karma. Baby, sometimes it's not karma. Sometimes it's to learn the lesson. Because you already know you get the blessings. Moving on. So anyhow, like I said, had a certain person been a little more forthcoming, instead of trying to be a sneaky little con artist herself, you'd have never had to worry about me ever dialing your number again, sir. In 2019, needless to say, So I want to show you how inhumane someone could be. Now, this was right about the same time a certain matriarch that tries to portray she's a good Christian was sending a lot of nasty messages that had to do with me. Majority of it was slander and defamation of character. You see this? There's a house in there. That's what I went through. I heard, if you want to live, follow me. I stood in a room thinking we were all finna die. Then when I asked to use the phone to call my boss because I was supposed to work a 16-hour shift the next day, wasn't getting too good of a connection. So I thought to myself, well, let me just send her a couple pictures so she'll understand what's happening here instead of me trying to explain it to her. Right about the time I went to push that send button, someone looked down at me from their steps into a hallway and said to me, "You got my GD phone? Get the F out of my house." Darling, I'm not the kind of woman that goes in people's phones. But apparently, like I said, that's the type of women you must be used to dealing with. So needless to say, I sat out in my car and I could hear chainsaws running. This was horrific. I felt they were going to be pulling expired bodies out of homes. I sat in my car and I cried like any woman would have while I listened to those chainsaws. And what's disgusting about this entire thing, once there was no apology, I don't think, but once I walked back in the room and we spoke again, someone had the audacity to say, because my feet were shuffling, baby. That person knew I was fixing it. As soon as that road was clear, I was the hell out of there. I'm not going to put up with abuse from anybody. We have King of Cups. All right, so anyhow, this certain person had the audacity to say to me, "You're going to leave me here alone after what we just went through?" You contradict yourself, sir. Contradict yourself. All right, moving on. 2020. Here's the kicker. 2019, little old girl came to my house, little old girl I've known for many years. Oh, I've changed. I'm not the thief I used to be. I'm not the con artist I used to be. I'm not the demon I used to be. You see, this little old shorty short right here was a demon. There's two of them in there. No offense to Geminis, but there's two of them in this one. And them twins fight each other, angel and demon. Needless to say, came to my home, I gave them a camper. Tried to help them. And that's how I know God was trying to teach me a lesson. All right, so before that, let's see. 2020, certain man had cancer. His mother passed away from cancer. Said he needed somewhere to stay. I invited that person in, gave him a room to stay in. Said person searched my house like 10 crackheads on a mission. When I asked why, I knew that night he came to my job. I had given him the money to bring me some dinner. Had it not been for the fact I was the only nurse there, because I knew something was up. I could see the body language all over him, but I couldn't leave. Had I been able to leave that job that night, I'd have been standing on my doorstep and telling every one of you to get the F out of my house. Because you see, I know you had other people in the home. And the one thing that's not clear is this. The way my shoes were moved back in that closet tells me somebody pretty tall was looking under my bed. Now, as we get on into the details, there's things people would not know unless there was a camera in my home. Moving on. When I walked through my door that morning, I could feel the energy of the room. I knew before I ever looked around, my home had been searched. I also knew there was someone else here. Had been here or was still here because I could feel the energy. You see, I'm real. I do have abilities. Moving on. So anyhow, like I told person, you got to go. You got to go. Come on, get all your stuff. Called him later. Come on, get your stuff. Get the hell on out of my house. All right? Needless to say, within 2 days, I had my locks changed. So then here comes Shorty Short, the little demon, needing somewhere to stay. So I did just that. Well, one day, come find out, her boyfriend gets arrested. Then here comes the law for her. Now, I'm assuming these idiots thought I did that. Wasn't me, baby. That was your own past actions catching up with you. You see, I don't try to get up other people's business. Unless you're my grandbabies, my children, or some of my kinfolk. I try not to then. Anyhow, so a few days later, here comes a little old girl. Let's see, C19. I read an article that said Coloradans were turning to tarot seeking answers out of fear during C19. Also during this time, during 2019, when I was putting in all of these hours, I had a blister up here on my hand. And yes, I'm going to tell this story one more time. As you can see, let's see here. There's the blister. There's the skin. When I pulled that skin, can you see that? Right here. When I pulled that skin from around that blister, this is what was underneath it. No, I am not crazy. No, I did not self-inflict that. And you're not going to make me look crazy. This is what it looks like up close. This is what it looked like as it healed. I do have a picture of it somewhere where I was holding my hand down low and took the picture where you can see the gold ring on my thumb. But that picture is apparently in a different phone, in an iPhone that was stolen, which I did get back. So I will have to go through that phone as well and pull that picture out. Moving on. So can you imagine being exhausted, slapped out of your mind from all of the hours you put in? Can you imagine? We're rolling into C19. Now, C19 was announced on December 31st, 2019. Just happens to be my birthday. So can you imagine fighting this alone, having all of these people coming at you, when the majority of them were pillow-pouncing meth hoes from back in the day, few jealous wives, some of them that never did anything other in life. They never sought their own education. They never sought their own career. No, I'm not knocking you for that. Some mothers never do. But don't come at me, baby, out of your jealousy and your spite, because that makes you very demonic. All righty, moving on. So can you imagine fighting this battle completely alone? So for the record, I don't want a damn thing to do with anybody from my past. People seem to think I was all butthurt and pining away from somebody from the past. Let me tell you something. That's one of the things you stripped from me, was being able to look at my own phone. Because there's no doubt in my mind that when that phone come on, you could see everything. It's called flipping the camera. But I guarantee you I've turned that microphone off since then as well. So needless to say, I don't want anything to do with anybody from my past. And if you come on my property, you're going to face judgment. Be it by me, be it by the good Lord who you will be meeting, or be it by the local sheriff's office. I'm fed up. I'm fed up. These are some sick souls. Some of these people, you knew these babies were being abused. You knew I was trying to get my money together. You helped the con artists. You helped thieves. You helped drug addicts cover up abuse. But yet you try to call yourself divine. You try to portray that I'm a bully. I'm no bully. But I'm one hell of a woman, and I'm going to stand up for what is right. You sat back, you laughed, you mocked, and you waited for this man, my daddy, because this man did take care of his children. And I have something I want to speak on that. After we went to court, the mother And this is how I know you a sick soul. You a sorry-ass woman. This man stood in court and cried over his babies because he has a bond. He has a connection with his daughters. And you had the audacity to go back and tell those babies your daddy fake cried in court. You are a sick, disgusting bitch. Also, you're trying to turn these children against their own grandmother. And everything you're doing is out of jealousy, envy, and spite. Because you see, I never struck out on y'all's Facebook. I never struck out and tried to stop y'all's money or y'all's abundance. That right there tells you who is who. And these folks right here are the abusers, the con artists, and the thieves. Your actions show who you are. My actions show who I am. I never tried to sabotage your vehicle. I never tried to sabotage your job, your money, your home, nothing. Nothing. Did I stand behind my son and have his back? You damn right, and I always will. Matter of fact, one of your family members made the comment, almost 40 and Mommy Ag is still fighting your battles. Well, last I checked, wasn't that some of your family sitting in the courtroom? You're ignorant and you contradict yourself. Last I checked, isn't that your strung out brother that's lived with your mother periodically for years? Oh, she mad heifer couldn't take the heat. Everybody knows the truth. What truth is that, baby? The truth y'all trying to hide so you don't go to jail? You are ignorant. Oh, and as far as your comment, what kind of mother steals her son's money when he was a child, spent it on a man and only bought him an Xbox? You're trying to rectify the money your sister received off placing her child in a staged accident. Because I can tell you where that money went. On the rent where my son lived with me. Rent, clothes, shoes, Xbox, groceries. Where'd your money go? Casino and drugs? Y'all gonna stop coming at me. Failed to realize who you's messing with. All right, so you mocked this man over the love of his children, going so far to tell his daughters that. And you still tell his daughters a lot of crap about him. Let me tell you what this man wants. He doesn't want his children to be ignorant with no morals, no integrity. He wants them to have a education. For the record, as soon as my son was forced to move away from your home, well, the daughter that was in school has now dropped out because none of your children, none of them, have an education, except for the oldest one, only because my son was in your home and directed that child to at least go get his GED. You know it, and I know it. So you can play this racist game all day long and try to cover up your crime. I don't guess you guys can see the world is changing. The black card don't work like it used to, baby. Now, I'm not trying to offend anybody here. If the shoe fits, wear it. If you know you're a decent person, you stand in the middle and you see life for what it is, you see racism, you see things for what it is, well, then kudos to you because you're an intelligent person, regardless of skin color. But I'm sick to death of the racism. I'm sick to death of people thinking they can get away with what they're doing because they think they have a trump card. And the rest of the world is sick of it too. Now, there's not a doubt in my mind that that's part of my mission here. Look around you. The world's changing. I've mentioned before, you guys go check out Hodge Twins. I admire these guys. They are very intelligent. They call out. They call out the Karens. They call out the animals. They call out the con artists. They call out the thieves. And it does not matter what your skin color is. Asian, black, white, Mexican, green, yellow, red. They call it out. And that's why I love these guys. They stand on truth. They stand for what's fair. They stand for what's right. And they stand on, speaking truth, on the injustice, the criminal activity, and all the BS that's going on in the world. So check them out, guys. Moving on. If they offend you, the shoe fits, wear it. Because apparently, if they offend you, it's because you're not intelligent. All right, so you mocked this man because his heart was ripped out. His children now sit and being discriminated against by their own family, being abused by their own family at the hand of a con artist, thieves, and drug addicts, sick demonic souls. This was a hate crime. They only felt safe with their father. And you did all of this to hide your fake image. And so your fake image wouldn't be tarnished. To the lunatic matriarch, you are obsessed with that man. Last time I went to that Facebook, 2019, 2020, whatever, you was all over it, baby girl. You was all over it with your little smiles. And he's over there like, oh, because even he can see you're obsessed. You are the stalker. Your jealousy and your evilness is what you hide behind your mask while you're posting your Jesus memes. Let me see, what was that quote? If I'm smiling, I'm thinking about it. If I'm laughing, I've already done it. You, madam, are nothing but a demon. You will suffer mental anguish. You will suffer before you leave this world. Not just for what you did to me, but all of the con artist things you have done to other people. You are a thief, a con artist, and a low-vibe criminal. You tried to sell a woman's land that didn't even belong to you. Didn't belong to your brother or your family either. See, you didn't think I knew that, huh? You've been getting your karma. Everything from flat tires to mental anguish. And it wasn't at my hand. It was at the hand of the divine. And it's not over yet. It's going to be a pound of flesh extracted before it's over. All right. I call judgment on you. And the good Lord does too. You will suffer for many years before you leave this world. God will not release you to reincarnate. And in case you guys haven't figured it out yet, reincarnation is real. There are some souls that are left behind to walk this earth. That's where we get a lot of paranormal activity from. You go back and you look at children who speak on who their parents used to be. You see, I think when these babies are fresh, they still remember that. And I think as we get older, we forget those past lives. But do your research. Do your research on near-death experiences. Do your research on all of these children that are saying this. You see, a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old does not have the mental capacity, does not have the imagination to come up with these things. You go read up on it and you listen to these mothers who believe in their children. And those mothers let those children lead them to write what they were talking about. Past lives. They found the evidence, past lives. Let me give you an example. There was a little 3-year-old white boy that was talking about, his name was Pam Robertson. And he lived in, I think it was Illinois or something. And what he spoke on, I think was, when the mother asked him how he expired, he told her he burned up in an apartment fire. Well, that mother did her research, and guess who she found? Pam Robertson, who burned up in an apartment fire. Now, that come out the mouth of a 3-year-old. And there are many, many, many more examples. The one common factor in NDEs, you cannot tell me because someone, as a nurse, you cannot tell me because someone lacks oxygen that every person that's ever had an NDE, near-death experience, had the same experience. That's not possible. That is not possible. All right, moving on. So anyhow, you laughed. You mocked this man. Oh, wait, let's see. We'd already moved on to the matriarch. Your soul's going to travel in misery and loneliness for eternity for what you did. And you can mark God's words on that one, baby. For the hell you brought into other people's lives during your reign on this earth. You are nothing but a con artist and a thief. And you got your kudos, your kicks off bringing other people misery. You laughed and you caused a lot of misery to others. And as you travel this world as a snake, beloved. All right, let's see, guys. So let's go back to 2019. Like I said, I put in the 843 hours of overtime. I was exhausted. So in 2020, I backed up. I went to night shift, just simply so I could rest. We still dealt with C19 patients. We lost quite a few. So during this time, as we rode to the end of 2019, Little Shorty Short went to jail. What for, I don't know. Something she had previously done. So around March or May, after, the man with the cancer came here, looking for somewhere to stay. Now, that man was already gone. Due to what happened, I put my prized possessions in a black lockbox that was not under my bed before this man was moved out and my locks were changed. No one had a key to my house. No one. No one in my family. No one but me and Shorty Short. She tries to blame it on this man. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I made a police report. When you left, you have a warrant for you. If anyone knows, and you know who I'm talking about, a certain Gemini, that warrant still stands. If you know where this woman is, call your local police department and go ahead and let them know where she's at so we can get this demon off the streets. This is a conniving little con artist that stirs crap in everybody's life she knows. That's just how she is. If you gang up with her to stir crap, well, guess who she's stirring crap on behind your back? You. Shorty Short, also, there's a Sagittarius she clicked up with. Baby, she accused your husband of trying to have sexual affairs with her, his own niece. She laid slander to his name, because I asked him about that. Anyhow, so as we rolled on into 2020, Shorty Short pops up wanting somewhere to stay. Well, that's about the time they enforced lockdown. Well, every morning when I would come home, Shorty Short would be gone. And like I told her, I'm not dying for you, baby. So either you can go out and party and find you somewhere else to live, or you can stay in quarantine. I would strip my clothes off on the porch when I came home and come on in my house. I'd go back with my little garbage bag to pick them up, put them in the bag, and bring them to the wash. So needless to say, Shorty Short rode with me. She rode with me while I purchased people groceries. She rode with me while I purchased people toilet paper. I had $59 in my pocket to go pay for someone's I thought was a friend's prescription for their blood pressure medicine. So I came home that weekend. Saturday morning when I came home, Shorty Short was gone. Between then and Monday morning, I went to looking for my black box and it was gone. You can only imagine how devastated I was when right at $700 was gone, as well as my son's ID, some vintage postage stamps, and a few other things. I speak truth and nothing but truth as I lay this down to you. So Shorty Short was gone, my money was gone. You are a POS. Shorty Short used to holler, my kids, my kids, my kids. Well, baby, you lit out of here with the clothes and the price tag still in the closet with my money. Moving on. Again, my locks were changed because no one but Shorty Short and I had a key. All right, so Shorty Short's man, the one she left behind, the one she sat here late nights when she wasn't beating the streets before I'd go to work, talking about how she didn't want anything else to do with him, how she was tired of having to struggle with him, how she was tired of him being in a revolving jailhouse door. Now, I myself, when here comes him, and we'll just call him little beady-eyed Waldo. So Shorty Short was gone. I changed my locks once again. Well, here come little beady-eyed Waldo walking down the road, talking about he got out of jail. Now, I had enough common sense to sit back and watch for quite some time Waldo's actions. I seen everything he did, from when he'd spin around the shop to hide stuff, from when he'd spin around here in the trailer, I don't know, searching through my stuff, whatever. So I had given them a camper. So when I put him off my property, sure, yeah, go ahead, take it with you. There was a trade in things. He did work around here for being able to stay on the property, you know. And I guess he's a little butthurt over that. Well, darling, go pay somebody $500-600 in rent. Needless to say, I sat back, I watched. I kind of liked the old boy, you know. One thing I've always appreciated in a man is a man that knows how to do something with their hands, be it construction, be it building, whatever. You know, tells me that that's possibly not a knuckle dragger. So anyhow, he did some work and stuff around here for me, fed him, took care of him for a year. Didn't have a problem with it. We enjoyed each other's company. But don't you think I didn't sit back and watch what you was doing? Late nights, I could hear him over there beating on the walls. This person could not control themselves whatsoever. There were several nights I came home, and I'd stand right beside his trailer. One night, I was standing beside that trailer when I heard him say, "She's home." He was cussing somebody, apparently trying to wake them up and let them know. Old girl and slid back in home. All right, so anyhow, you had to get off my property. Well, after that happened, little beady-eyed Waldo tried to stop my abundance. Little beady-eyed Waldo possibly put a camera in my home. Because there's things these tarot readers and other folks would never know. Just personally being in your home. Like wiping your tail. Like hearing a tarot reader saying next day or so about somebody wiping their tail. Well, let me teach you a lesson on that, baby. You're ignorant and have a lot of audacity to try to talk about how somebody else wipes their tail. Because I'm no doctor, but I have enough common sense to know where to stop. But let me tell you a little something. All these women you see out here with these bear claws, and that's exactly how they look, like bear claws. This is how they wipe. Just like this. Baby, you can't tell me you're not leaving a lot of dingleberries behind. So you may want to go and get on down low with talking crap about people when it comes to that. So anyhow, like I said, there's a lot of things people would not know. People could not land on, speak on, or even try to throw illusion on. Had there not been a camera. Had you not been flipping a camera, or had there not been a camera in my home. The thought of, he likes what you did in the chair. My phone was nowhere in my hand. Camera in my house. Now, I do not doubt that, and let me tell you why. Several times, especially one day, during this time, because I needed to change my locks again, I sent Waldo over to Lowe's to get a lock. Do you think I'm stupid? So he comes back with a package, not damaged, but had the corner cut off of, and he states to me, this one was $29. Package was damaged. I kind of thought they would discount it, but it was the only one there. Wrong, Waldo. Lowe's keeps those in stock because I went and checked. It's the same $29 trailer doorknob that they keep in stock all year long. So you know what that tells me? You did that. You made a key to my home. The day you passed me on my road and you was hauling ass was the day you come and took the camera back out of my house. You going to prison, Pop. All right, moving on. You know, there's an old saying, you never know somebody till you know them. And that fact stands true. Because majority of people do not stand in their authenticity because of how others act. Not because of how they act, how others act. That's like expecting somebody to act like a robot. We have 14 different emotions. We have 7 prominent emotions. And that's like happy, sad, you know. When people try to portray that, oh, you're aggressive, oh, you don't know how to control yourself, they're not telling you the actions they took to try to cause you mental anguish and to try to drag you out of character. Anybody that knows me knows I do not go around flying off the handle. Any group I've ever been around, you see me easing my way around that group. When I'm done, baby, I just walk. Always have, always will. When I walked away from my second husband, I gave him the car, I gave him the trailer, and he ran off with my 2 children. Hid them out on Little River for 2 years. Right at 2 years, before his own wife came and told me where they were. You see, the truth has never been let out there of how I knocked on windows, knocked on doors, of how I was told to stop buying stuff for my children. Truth was never let out there how I would ask about school supply list. Truth was never let out there how I would purchase clothing. So don't come at me. You're going to stop coming for me, because I'll take you to court. And that's the reason you tried to help stop my abundance. I'm sick of my children looking at me like I wasn't there. You never told people how you put my son's head in the toilet with crap and flushed. You never told people the abuse you did to my oldest child. Truth will always come out. You never told people about other things either. Now, I'm going to let you slide on that. I'm not going to sit here and portray what you did as a child and records that are sealed. Because I have a little more respect for myself than that. But don't think I won't. Don't think I won't. I'm fed up. I'm fed up with everything that's gone down the past 6 years. I'm fed up with the fact that your family has slandered me, literally stalked me. When I walked away from you, I walked away from you. I have never tried to cause you any kind of misery in your life. I've never came for you because I did not care. And I still do not care until this day. All right, moving on. Do whatever the hell you want, but don't come for me. My child still lives. My child can still speak on the abuse you and your family did to him. Now, I love my children. I've always had their back. There's not a day, even with the static that's in between us right now, there's not a day they can't call me and say, Mama, I need you. Or Mama, this happened. Mama coming. Old lady coming. And old lady going to have you back. And old lady going to stand on the battle lines for you. Because that's my babies. That's always been my babies. And you people are not going to make it and extort it, blow it out of proportion to be something it was not. You try to act like I asked somebody to raise my children. You try to act like I just gave my children away. But you never told people how I was knocking on windows and doors. You never told people how my own son would call me and tell me he was hungry. You never told people how you slapped my daughter in the mouth the day she got her braces. You never told people how you used to corner my son up and slap him. I still owe you for that one. You see, that's what I mean when I talk about a mask. That's what I mean when I say, look where God set me. All of the slandering of my name, the defamation of character that you have spread over the years in the community, look where God set me. He set me so the truth could come out. And everybody you ever slandered my name to could hear that truth. Moving on. All right. So you people put me through quite a bit of mental anguish. Those days are over, baby. All right. So 2020. So Waldo, I tell Waldo he's got to go. I was fixing to do travel nursing, which someone sabotaged. And I'm guessing it's the same someone that was reading my emails. Because one thing about agency, they want a strong nurse. They want a nurse that can pump out them hours. You know why? Because the more hours that nurse pumps out, the more money they make. So I knew then something was up. I knew when I started hearing my own life being portrayed back to me that I was hacked into and tapped into. I knew Grant Parrish was listening. I knew others were listening. Y'all some sorry, low-down people. I couldn't figure out at the time, well, damn, are they trying to protect me or stalk me? I have many examples of how I know you had me tapped. You had me hacked. And from what I understand of the law, you are supposed to execute every measure possible before you hack into or before you tap into someone's phone. Apparently, you did not. And I can tell you why you did not. When Waldo was kicked out, when the man with the cancer was kicked out, when Shorty Short was kicked out, there's a police report on every event. At no point have I ever had traffic coming through my yard. At no point was I dealing drugs. But apparently somebody fed y'all some bullshit. Same bullshit that just might possibly lead the parish to having a lawsuit. There's some crooked folks in this judicial system. Possibly Sagittarius. Because you see, while I was listening to what them readers were saying, I was listening to the good ones too, that was throwing little hints. But when I tell you these people have hacked, they've hacked judges, they've hacked attorneys. You have hacked. There's some people out here, man that's married to a teacher, you hack these people as well. There's a Leo that drives a little yellow dune bug. You hack those people as well. Man that owns a business. You hack those people. And I have the proof. Y'all did a lot. And every damn one of you thought you was going to get away with it. Moving on. All right. Right about the time I was getting over butt hurt, my soul being hurt, and resting up. Because while Waldo was here, I'd gone from night shift to working simply weekends. I only pulled 8 days a month. Boo, I'd sit around the house 2-3 days and not take a bath. You know why? I could. It's my house. I'd sit around the house and not do crap. Because I'd already pumped out many years of nothing but working like a slave dog. So needless to say, Waldo underestimated. Waldo took me to be someone I was not. Well, when I kicked it back in gear and I started pumping out those hours again, and by the way, guys, I see why old people do what they do. When, sometimes they'll peter around the house 2-3 days without even washing their butt. I get it. And if you don't, well, then you're the dummy. So anyhow, I had a week. It was winter 2020 when I kicked it back in. Old girl was getting her groove back. And apparently Waldo was jealous. It does not matter Who makes the more money, be it the man or the woman? What matters is that everything gets paid. People are finding happiness. That's what matters. 2021, when I kicked back in gear, that's when I went and got my bank. Sorry, I'm going to go ahead and pull that. We have messages, and we have the Empress. And I'm going to read these to you before I walk off. We have the Ten of Swords. That's what y'all tried to do to me. We have the Four of Pentacles. You also tried to do that to me. You wanted me in the poorhouse. You wanted my abundance stopped, so I couldn't hire an attorney and come after you. Those days are over. There's the one thing you fail to realize. If I've got to shovel crap, if I've got to work a weekend job, if I've got to work 24 hours around the clock, that's exactly what I'll do. By the grace of God, baby. All right. 2021. Right about the time, beginning of the year, I went back to my old job. I was standing outside the parking lot one day smoking a cigarette, and I could see this little white crop duster coming. Me. I seen it as it gave it an upward tilt and went right over the top of it. Yeah, I seen it. That was March 15th, between 5:30 and 6. March 21st, you buzzed my house, around 10. Again, around 10:30. And when I say buzzed it, so low to my roof, to the top of these trees, the leaves probably tickled the belly of your little crop duster. March 27th, you did it again. You did it again here about a month and a half ago. Moving fast and low, baby, moving fast and low. What's your point? This is done and over. What's your point? I'm not intimidated by you, and I'm not afraid of you. I kind of see you as a demon. Moving on. All right. So that was 2020, 2019, 2020, 2021. A lot of people did some horrific things to me because I have a God-given heart. I've never truly been a racist person in my life, but some of you folks will make people dislike you, and that's just God's honest truth. That's speaking what other people are afraid to speak. Shoe fits wear it. If you know you're a decent human and you see right, wrong, and justice, kudos to you, baby. We'll rock it together. If you're racist and that offends you and your butt hurt, oh fucking well. That's all I can say. All right. Moving on. So let's finish this reading out. We have family. We have messages coming and going. We have a Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer coming in. That's energy only. Coming straight toward that Empress. Someone's made a decision. Or either they're coming toward that Empress because of a blind decision that Empress made. We have grieving on the bottom. Offer. There are many, many, many more examples I have and proof and evidence that I have of what these tarot readers did. You put your nose somewhere you shouldn't have, and I'm hoping that gets just cut right off. All right, so then we have Wheel of Fortune. They're coming in because they see someone has made a choice about their destiny. Then we had the King of Cups. We have proposal. Now, anything I've said about you, I stand on it. There's a lot of folks owe me some apologies. There's a lot of folks that owe me some truth. Only an idiot listens to the gossip ring. Let me tell you why. Females. Females, the same way. Eve picked the apple off the tree. Majority of them show their envy, show their spite, and show their hand. Now let's speak real quick on the dream I had. I had a dream. There was a house, there was a canopy, there was a bus stop. Behind that was a trailer park. You know what that tells me? I'm going to own that one day. In this dream, there was a bunch of little kids running around me. They had these little daggers. They'd stab me with the dagger, and then they'd move and twist and turn, laughing, giggling, mocking, And as they would twist and turn, just like in the movie Passion of the Christ, where the little kids would twist and turn, you could see that demon on their face. In that dream, that's exactly what I seen. That dream came true. That dream came true in my community. That dream came true right here on YouTube, because that's exactly what y'all did to me. Be those little daggers slander. Be those little daggers trying to cause me mental anguish. Be those little daggers sitting back laughing. That's exactly what y'all did. That dream came true. Like I've told you before, I have dreams that come true. Needless to say, in this dream, as I'm laying flat on my back, where that canopy is between that house and that bus stop, and I'm looking up like this, because I hear a horn. Now, I know I'm bleeding out. I can feel my body getting weaker. I can feel the wetness, and I can feel the coldness of the concrete and the wetness of the blood as it pools around me. As my life is literally seeping out of me, I see my sister floating about a foot off the ground in a beautiful, beautiful, there's no way I can describe this other than like Jesus' robes, the way it was just floating. It wasn't satin, wasn't lace. I don't know what you call it. But it was pink. And that is so funny. I find now that the thought never occurred to me that one time I said to her, I started battling with her over the opioids. And I said to her, what color do you want your coffee? And while she was sitting there ripped like a rat, she said to me, pink. So I find it kind of funny that the dress was pink. She had flaming red hair flowing behind her, and she watched. She sat back, and she watched every bit of this. So that leads me to believe my ancestors have been watching all along, as well as the paranormal activity that I experienced throughout this. Let me show you guys what a number 17 cast iron skillet is. This is a number 17. Hangs on my wall. As you can see, that's a fairly large skillet. Some of that paranormal activity, I was laying in my bed. My bed is set up where I can look down the hallway. I knew I was here alone. I knew my deadbolts were locked. I knew that skillet was hanging on a 1.5-inch wood screw into the wall. That skillet hit the floor and wobbled. If you've ever owned a Corel plate, you know what I'm talking about. When they hit the floor, they woo, 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 woo. That's what that skillet did. I have tried to recreate that several times and could not. The washing machine was not going. The dryer was not going. There was not a Harley passing by. There was not a truck passing by. There was no thunderstorm. There's no reason that skillet should have fell off that wall. There's a little picture one night. Now, as we know, paranormal activity has been scientifically proven. That picture, most of the time when you see something like this on TV or whatever, the picture either drops to the floor or shoots across the room. This picture traveled approximately 4 or 5 feet across the wall and landed right on the pillow behind my head. When it hit the pillow, it hit with weight. You know how if someone sits down on your bed, you feel the impression of that weight? I felt the impression of that weight behind my head. The picture said, not every day is good, but there's something good in every day. And I remember laying there. I sleep like this most of the time. Well, I used to. As I got older, I don't sleep that way anymore. As I have gotten older, I do not sleep that way anymore. Anyhow, so I'm laying there with my hands like this, and I'm thinking, oh, what the F is that? I don't want to look. I don't want to look. But my mind is telling me at the same time, you got to look. You got to sit up and look. And I did. That picture weighs probably not even an ounce. There is no way. That picture was so light. There's no way it should have made an impression. It should have had weight as it hit that pillow. There's no way to explain that and what happened other than paranormal activity. Because, like I said, it's very lightweight and it traveled 4 or 5 feet, if not further, if not 6 foot, across the wall and then landed behind my head. I have experienced other paranormal activity. One was an orb that showed up on my camera that sat at the end of the fence line. This orb sat there. This orb moved 6 to 8 feet in 1-2 seconds flat. Then it sat there It sat there for 36 minutes before it shut off. So I ran that through my mind, and I wondered, what is this trying to tell me? What does this represent? My mind landed on the 36 minutes. At the time, my son was 36. I know these people tried to do some horrific things and did do some horrific things to my son. And that is why we're still going to have that coffee cup swabbed and sent to the lab. You can scream to your family all day long. You didn't do it. Your family can scream all day long. Nobody tried to kill your son. You see, my son's not a liar. He's not. To the point, he won't even get down and dirty to fight you. This is a good man. This man has a good soul. He has morals. You will never find, and that's going to be your punishment. You will never, ever, ever find a man this good again. You see, you tried to stay focused on him not working. Well, let me rephrase that. You tried to portray the image that he would not work. This man's been in construction. This man's been in the oil field. This man's been in welding. This man never had a problem with a job till you came along. You can't call, what's that movie, y'all, Friday? What was that little guy's name where that girl's hollering? Byron. You can't act like her, baby, and expect your man to go out and work every day. You can't try to put your man's balls in your purse and expect him to go out and work every day. Every time this man tried to mention how his children were being treated, you invited your entire family to attack him, be it verbally or try to set him up physically. You, madam, are a coward. You a yellow belly POS. Moving on. So anyhow, I did experience some paranormal activity, and I did experience some other paranormal activity. Let's see, the skillet, the pitcher, the orb. Oh, and the lantern. The lantern in my bathroom. That lantern sits about a foot and a half above my head. So one day I go in there, I use the bathroom, I wipe, I get up, and as I'm washing my hands at the sink, I look up in the mirror, and I see that lantern swaying. There's no way my head would have hit this lantern, and I tried to recreate that. I tried to see if the toilet, you know how your toilet sits snug up to the wall? Some toilets sit, a few centimeters away from the wall. I tried to recreate that and could not as well. So I know what went down in 2018 and the things I was saying, even when I didn't know why I was saying them, protect her. I know something was happening. I know there was some type of soul bond. There was something that had to do with the souls that was going on there. And the one thing that goes through my mind, and I don't care if you ridicule me over this or not, was the one thing that my sister that passed away wanted for me was to be loved and to find love. So anyhow, I think now when I think back on it, that's an awesome thing to know that, one of your ancestors want that for you, and to know that they are apparently looking over you. I could have swore one night I felt my mother pinch me. She used to love to do that. She'd walk up and pinch us. So anyhow, in the dream, I could feel myself bleeding out. I could see my sister. And as I hear that wow from that horn, and I couldn't understand that for some time. And as you know, everybody in Tarot Land talks about the judgment horn now. So anyhow, I'm laying flat on my back and I'm looking up like this because I hear it coming. There's a semi coming down the highway. That bad boy intentionally goes off the highway and right through a double wide. Shrapnel, debris goes everywhere. So that tells me all hell is breaking loose. And it tells me it's at the hand of the divine and the ancestors are watching. No, I'm not crazy. My common sense tells me that's exactly what's happening. My common sense and my gift. I'll give you another example. For many years, I walked around crowds and stuff. I knew I was different. And I always knew I had a gift, but I never would acknowledge that. I would just, like sweep it under the rug. So it has become more prominent. Like the other day, my son and I was in the truck, and we're going down the road, right here on the street. And at the top of the street is the little police station. And that impression goes through my mind. Slow down, there's a cop sitting up here. But I didn't say it. And no sooner than we topped the hill, there he sat. So, yes, I do have a psychic gift. And it works in other ways besides that, but it's a knowing. It's simply a knowing. I can walk into a room and feel the energy. I can walk into a house and literally tell you if it's haunted or not, if it has a negative energy or a positive energy, and that's just how this works for me. The bad thing about it is, even when I know, Waldo, shorty short, even when I know what's coming, what's fixing to happen, I still give people the benefit of the doubt. And that's where the lesson comes in. People no longer get that from me. I follow that intuition now. All right, so guys, moving on. We have proposal on the bottom. We have family with the messages. We have a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio coming in toward an Empress. It has to do with the choice the Empress has made. It has to do with their destiny. Then we have the King of Cups sitting here. As we know, cups are about emotion. So this does not have to be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, but this is the energy of someone in their feelings, someone expressing emotion. Here comes the offer. But watch out. It's got a fish in the cup. Again, has to do with choices, actions. Moving on. We have the Knight, grieving, King of Swords. This could be an authority figure. This could be an officer. This could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Somebody's wanting to come in and speak on something. We have the Fool. We have family, message, and Fool. Somebody may be wanting to come in and speak about something on family. This could be a family member coming in. Here we have the Page of Wands, immature energy, taking action. Here we have the, is that the Page or the Knight? We have the Knight of Pentacles, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, offer coming in. On the bottom, we have the Emperor. They could be coming in to tell you about the action that a Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo took. Let's see what's under that Emperor. Offer. Page, immature energy. Somebody's wish fulfillment. Ten of Swords. So somebody knows they put blades in their wish fulfillment. And here they're trying to come in with some honor for something to grow. Somebody knows the blessing that's coming. All right, moving on. Let's go another round here, and I am going to get some clarification as well as one of these angel cards. The Hierophant. There was a lot done here. This was horrific. Like I said, this was some carry BS. As you can see, confirmation, same two cards fell out. So we have someone coming in Pisces energy, coming toward an Empress. They may be wanting to come in and tell you about some immature actions someone took. They're taking action to come in, and it has to do with the offer. So they're coming to tell you about something a Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo did, something, and this was an offer made up. This could be someone paying folks for something. And there we have Aquarius. We have the Star. This also stands for someone that is finding mentally balanced, and that has to do with the water. They have found balance mentally and emotionally. So, you know, somebody's building up their webos here. But this looks like to me, a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio is coming in to tell someone about some action someone took, possibly an Aquarius, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, and the action they took. All right, moving on. We have the choice, the Wheel of Fortune. Someone has made a choice and taken their destiny into their own hands. We have the Chariot. Somebody's made that choice to move forward. They are emotionally walking away from what was done in the dark. They are emotionally walking away from sharing with others. They may be in that Queen of Wands energy. Knight of Wands. Nine of Pentacles. Single abundant. Proposal. Tower. They're coming in with some type of proposal. It's going to bring you a tower or someone else a tower. Someone's going to be grieving behind a King of Pentacles. And we have Capricorn on the bottom. That's also devil energy, addictions, Wounded warrior. This looks like somebody coming in to tell you, bring an offer, and tell you what somebody did to you. There's the blessing. Knight of Wands. So somebody sees a choice an Empress has made to take their destiny into their own hands. They're moving that chariot forward. They're taking action. All right. So then we had the King of Cups and the offer, the Two of Cups. They've put a lot of thought into this. A lot of thought. But they are still not seeing the main issue. All right, let's get some clarification. There are still a couple things I want to speak on. I do have some other pictures, guys. Like I said, I've got to go back to that other phone. I want to speak on this right here, this Leo. You see that? Wolf puffs. Wolf pukes. Wolf pack. Now, we all know my ex-husband was president of the Lone Wolves. We all know. Unless the camera was flipped, there's no way this woman would know the things she knows. This woman made comments about the Capricorn with the mole on the left breast. Darling, that's me. This woman made comments about the silver BMW, quite a few other things. This woman also stole some of my information. I spoke with this woman. I had put a video up on the abuse of my grandchildren. What was done? The woman makes the comment back to me, awesome video, blah, blah, blah. I don't remember her correct words. I go to her platform within 1 hour. She's sitting there speaking on that video. She's sitting there speaking my information. She's sitting there speaking about child abuse is fixing to be exposed. This could be Massachusetts, Carolina. This could be South Carolina. You're a sorry woman. Let's speak on this. You see that? Sewage problems. Capricorn. I do have the pictures of the septic problems I had. The dates here and dates on the picture. You see, I know y'all was handing this off to other readers. I know I was hacked. I know y'all have provoked. Y'all were there. We're talking racist, discrimination, RICO, hate crime, all of it, baby, and I can prove it. I do have the pictures of the septic system torn apart. You see, there was a Pisces that was telling others, oh, that's an easy lick, that's an easy mark. Wasn't so damn easy, was it? You got through the hell off my property. Now, I'm speaking on a Scorpio that was standing out in my yard about 4 o'clock in the morning. Who was totally surprised when he turned around, I was standing behind him. You see, I have no fear. But it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see why you were cutting screen up. It didn't take a rocket scientist to see when I walked in the camper on Waldo and he was sitting butt to butt near with his partner and you had aluminum foil on your plate. Baby, I'm not losing my property behind some meth banshee. I don't give a damn if you like it or not. You're getting called out. You slandered my name. You did not speak the truth. It was damn good to you. You know it and I know it. All right, moving on. So truth will come out. I do have more evidence as well on how racist it was and how it was a hate crime. Y'all really played with the wrong one. All right, moving on. You see, I've never been in competition with anybody, nor am I in competition with you. Oh, Adeline just does her thing. Clicks right along on her own time wave. But y'all some vicious-ass people for what you did. This woman also, this Leo, followed me. Y'all have followed every reader I've went to and everything I've done. And I knew she was following me. Every time I went to Spiritual Advisor LLC, I sent her a donation. The very next day, this woman was calling her out. What she was trying to do was stay ahead of me. You know, I don't have an issue where she called these, was giving promotions to these readers. I don't have an issue with that. That's none of my business. What's my business is you was following everything I did. Not only was you following, I caught you going to my Facebook as well. You are not psychic. You are not gifted. And apparently you're just another jealous nurse. All right, moving on. You also called out Waldo's name. So there's no doubt in my mind you had many conversations with him. You also made the comment of how you would expose anybody. And you would show your phone. Well, let me ask you something, Matt. Why didn't you never show the text that I sent to you, accusing you of what you did? Why didn't you never show those texts? Because you're a damn liar. That's why. All right, moving on. Let's get some clarification. Temperance, somebody's found balance. Chariot, moving forward. King of Swords. Now, either this is law official, or this is simply somebody standing in air energy. Chariot and King of Swords. Like I said, guys, this was going to be a long one. Family. Powerful. Someone feels like they are being punished by the divine for something they did with your family, with someone linked in your family somewhere. And that someone is going to jump in that chariot. And they're coming forward. King of Wands. All right. I'm not going to go any further than that, guys, because like I said, we're leaving the past behind, baby. For many years, it's been hard to walk away from the past because the past kept trying to drag me back. You will no longer drag me back. You're going to stay the hell away from me, or you're going to catch yourself with a restraining order and a lawsuit. I've spoke nothing but truth on what happened here. Y'all know it, and I know it. And you know what really shocked me? Some of you did it out of spite, envy, just because you have a demonic damn soul. But what really shocked me were the ones, because it wasn't hard to see that this was bounced from reader to reader to reader. So I couldn't pinpoint who was doing it. Well, by doing that, you just made yourself Rico. It's like I said, I took notes. When I went on that broccoli spree, there's no way you could have known that unless there was a camera in my home, or while I was sitting watching YouTube and chewing on the broccoli, you had that camera flipped. When I was tearing up that pizza that day, Aquarius, is it DiGiorno or depression? There's no way you could have known that unless you had a camera flipped or a camera in my home. Truth will come out. All right, let's see. Transition. And the one that really tickles me is these old fairy dust chasing, pillow popping fools that never accomplished anything in their life have the audacity to try to lay slander to my name. Baby, I've met every one of you. I circled your crowd. I sat back and watched. And yeah, I'm going to say this. If you had as many sticking out as you did in, every damn one of you looked like a porcupine. Old Big Mouth. We all remember old Big Mouth. You couldn't help but hear her across the bar. We have compassion. And I find this very funny. Let me put my hand over because she's new. The butterfly literally on her back. We have compassion. We have release. That's my story, guys. That's everything that happened. Like I said, you're not going to make me look crazy because you were provoking me and doing a lot to me, as well as people in my own community turning their back on me, and so on. This also has to do with authority figures in South Carolina. This has to do with CPS workers in South Carolina. You have some sick souls. You do. Madam, Miss Racist Madam, for you to tell that man you should have kept your business in your own home, you need to be fired from your effing job. You're going to be doing good if he doesn't file suit against you himself for what you did to him. You also had the audacity to tell that man, whoa, we're not talking about her kids. We're talking about y'all's too. What about the report that was made where she beat her kid in the head with her fist? That's not his child. That's the other four. You trumped You turned your back on doing your job. Not only are you racist, you're a piece of shit. You need to be stripped. You need to be in jail for obstruction of justice. Nor at any time did you take that baby to have the x-ray done of her neck. You suck as a social worker. You suck as a human. You POS. You POS. But don't you think God didn't see what you did? All right, moving on. And I wouldn't doubt if y'all had something to do with putting a stop to my YouTube channel. A lot of folks was coming for me. But that's all right, baby. I know who I am. I know who I am. You can only imagine my shock when I saw that cross on my hand. And you know why that cross was on my hand? It's like I said, I've been a giving person all of my life. I have a beautiful soul and a beautiful heart. I don't go around treating people like they don't even have the worth of a mange dog. But I'll tell you this. Once you screw me over, that's a wrap, baby. One thing I admire is somebody that is honorable. Honorable enough to tuck that tail, come on in and tell the truth. I don't know why people think that, you know, biblically it tells us eye for eye, fracture for fracture, must, not maybe, not might. Whatever you shall so do into one of your countrymen must be done unto you. That's God himself telling you, I got you. I'm going to bring that karma back to you. And yes, karma does speak of Buddhism, but it still relates to the same message. Fracture for fracture, eye for eye, and tooth for tooth. And I've sat back and I've watched that. While my son was pulling his teeth, I watched people's children dying from tooth infections. That's the divine, baby. Same people that sat back, laughed, and mocked. All right, so we have kindred spirits. What do you want to give us, divine? What do you want to give us? And you know what's sad is this was still going on while I was sitting here with foster children. You know, trying to do something good that would help me be able to afford to take them to festivals so they could experience other ethnicities, so they could experience maybe a little Cajun food, so they could actually be able to enjoy a time in their life when they weren't being drugged from trap houses, when they weren't being drugged from Walmart parking lots. And y'all tried to twist that around and make it look like something disgusting, like somebody's trying to steal money from them. You need to go read state guidelines and rules on some of that, because some of it's for room and board in my home. So, but I've just never seen so many disgusting souls. These children had everything they needed. And boy, do they love eating. They loved eating. That's when they would go to dancing and telling stories. Sitting at the table dancing. All right, so we have love with the peace dove. Guardian angel on the bottom. I don't even hold it against tarot readers. You're just not going to keep coming for me. I do think it's very disgusting and sick what you did. Like I say, especially the ones that jumped on the bandwagon. When somebody shows up, you say you're divine, this is your cause, and this is what you stand for. And what I saw, that's not what you stand for at all. Beautiful. We have balance. So we have love, balance. On the bottom, we have perception. One more. One more. I've never seen such sickness, jealousy, spite, envy. You know, and I'm guessing there's a Sagittarius I offended when I first came on the scene talking about opioids. That had nothing to do with you, but apparently it was your perception. The dream that I had, I'll stand in the courthouse any day, baby. I had that dream of those demons and what was happening. There was a lot of my information stolen, used for your readings. You know, I mean, if you got to steal from somebody else like that, come on. You know, I noticed this one thing I notice how in little tarot land, you know, somebody may say a phrase. It's one thing when it has a trickle-down effect and others start saying it. But it's another thing to try to take someone's life and then try to portray it's an illusion. We didn't do this. It's initiation. It's sick. It's sick. First off, there are thousands of people on YouTube. Who the hell are you to think you regulate YouTube? You're tarot readers. All right, next we had playfulness. So we have love, balance, playfulness. That may be what somebody's coming in for. On the bottom, we have peace. Could be simple to make peace. All right, guys, so that's what I have. Somebody's coming in, you know, and keep getting the same energy here. But somebody is taking a leap of faith, has to do with family and messages. Somebody's coming in. They're coming forward with that offer toward an Empress. They may be coming to speak on what happened with a Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, possibly Aquarius. Or this could be, you know, simply someone in air energy coming in. But then we have that Chariot. Someone is moving forward, that authority figure, and then family. So this could be someone moving forward to bring charges against someone's family. And that is divinely guided. All right? So that's what I have, guys. And I love these because in them it has the birds, it has the butterflies, which speaks on messages and evolution. And on the bottom, like I say, we had peace. All right? So that's what I have. That's my story. That's what happened. I do have my evidence, and it ain't over till the fat lady sings. I'll be back to do some singing. Peace out. Cockroaches.